Hello, my friends. Welcome to my summer 2022 newsletter. I'm aware that we're a little bit late with it. I'm really sorry. Normally, I put out the summer newsletter in July, the first week of July. We're in the third week of August, and I'm really sorry for the late summer newsletter. But there's been a lot kind of going on over the summer for me. My husband and I went home, and I spent some time with my family, some much-needed family time. I hadn't seen my youngest sister in a while. She moved out of state, and so we had a little sister trip, and that was really nice. And also my grandparents, who I love to see whenever I'm in town, and that's really important to me. Plus, I've had multiple new roles that I've been working on that I want to talk about in the next few months as the newsletters kind of continue forward. So please forgive the late newsletter, but here we are outside of Salzburg. I am making my debut at the Salzburger Festspiele this month on the 25th of August in a single performance of Lucia di Lammermoor. I'm really excited about this because I have done Lucia in performance many times on stage as a role, but I've never done it in concert, and certainly not complete integrale. And I believe that we are preparing an integrale performance of this. So I'm also head over heels about my cast. I've got an extraordinary tenor, Benjamin Bernheim, who I've done Lucia with now twice on stage, and this will be our concert debut together. And I will also be singing with Ludovic Tézier, who I think is a wonderful baritone, and I love working with Ludo. So I'm really looking forward to it. That's August 25th. We are directed by Daniele Rustioni, who's also an amazing conductor. I love working with him. After that, in September, early September, I'll be making my role and house debut at the Teatro San Carlo in Napoli as Elvira in Bellini's I Puritani. Now, this is the second Bellini role I've ever sung, but it's something that I've been dreaming about singing for a very long time. It is a role that I have wanted to debut very, very much. We came very close kind of during the pandemic to doing kind of an abridged version in Gstaad, as many of you maybe know. It was a couple of years ago. But I got kind of sick, and I pulled out because I didn't feel well enough to sing the entire role, and I certainly didn't want to debut the role that way. So, in other circumstances, I might have pushed through, but that's the kind of thing that I really am trying to not do, and I don't want to kind of set that example of pushing through when you don't feel well. So I didn't make that debut then, and so we are really looking forward to having this full debut again, kind of pop up on the calendar. And this is in Napoli, so I'm really looking forward to singing there. I think it's an extraordinary opera house. I have dreamed of singing there for a long time. And Bel Canto is something that I think is the cornerstone really of my repertoire. So I'm very happy to be making this debut. We are also doing an integrale concert version. There are 4 performances, September 7th, September 10th, September 13th, and September 16th. So I hope to see you all there, as many of you as possible. The next thing I want to talk about, which is I'm also really looking forward to, it's another debut, but it's a house debut, and it is a country debut, and that is in Tokyo, Japan. I will be coming for 2 concerts. I'll be joining my friend Luca Salsi, baritone, very well-known, very wonderful, wonderful singer and wonderful friend of mine. We will be doing 2 different Bel Canto programs, or Bel Canto-centered programs, the 23rd of September and the 25th of September, both in Tokyo. You can find details about that on my website, but we are going to be conducted by Francesco Lanzilotta. And again, I'm looking forward to just making these incredible new places my home, I hope, in the future, because I certainly would love to come back to Salzburg. I've only been here a week, and I love it. I'm actually staying a little bit outside of Salzburg, but I have been in the city. I did some coachings and master classes with the wonderful young artists that they have there. And it's such a wonderful atmosphere. It is a beautiful place to learn and to work. There's just wonderful music being made in every little corner of that place. So I feel very honored to be here. I hope to come back. The same thing with Napoli. I know I'm going to love it, and I can't wait to return. I'm already looking forward to coming back. And also with Tokyo, my husband and I have always talked about visiting Japan someday, and this is the perfect way to kind of make a little trip there. And hopefully, things will go well, and the concert will be a success, and the Japanese public will invite us back. So the last also very exciting thing I want to say is that our French Bel Canto album is finally getting ready to drop. And it was funny because I thought it was going to drop in October, at the end of October, and now it's dropping October 7th. So that's what I know about, that it's October 7th is the release date. It is simply called French Bel Canto, and it is an album that was recorded also during the pandemic under some restrictions. The photography and all the album art was made with some restrictions, but I have been dying to record a lot of this repertoire. We are talking Rossini and Donizetti only, and it is all in French. So some of the operas are operas that maybe you've heard many, many times in Italian, like Lucia di Lammermoor, but there is a French version, Lucie de Lammermoor, which is different keys, different aria. The first aria that Lucie sings is different, and something I wanted to prepare and sing. So that aria is on the album. We have La Fille du Régiment, which I've sung a few times. It's another role that I really love singing. I've got both of the arias on that album. And for the Rossini side, we've got an aria from Le Cantori, which I've never sung Le Cantori. I have actually turned it down a couple of times because I didn't think that I was capable of doing the entire role. But the aria I thought would be fun to record as an extract because it is really an extraordinary aria. So I've got that on the album for you. And two wonderful arias from Le Siège de Corinthe. That's another piece that I think is a really exciting Rossini rarity that I hope someday to perform in its entirety in French. Two gorgeous arias from that. We've also got the aria from Guillaume Tell on there, Sombre Forêt. And what else? We've got the other aria from Donizetti from Les Martyrs, which is a very rare piece as well. It's kind of, we don't have a lot from Les Martyrs, just one aria, one slow aria on there. It sounds a lot like what you hear from Il faut partir. So I hope that you'll enjoy the album and enjoy the little extracts that we have. Some arias are long, some arias are short, but there's a lot on there. I mean, there's a lot of different type of singing. There is coloratura, there is lyric, there is high stuff, there's low stuff. And it's amazing to see that these composers, Rossini and Donizetti, who are known so much for their Italian kind of Italian opera, but also their just Italian approach to composing, it's amazing to hear the inspiration from the French grand opera, the grand opera tradition in there. Specifically in Rossini's Guillaume Tell music, if you ever listen to Guillaume Tell, it is absolutely masterful. It's such an extraordinary opera. And even Lucie de Lammermoor has so much French-ism about it. Not just the language, but the approach to the composition seems more music. When I was studying it, I felt like, wow, I feel like I'm singing Meyerbeer or something. It doesn't feel like Donizetti. So I thought that was really fun to prepare. I hope that you enjoy the album. The program notes are by Francesco Izzo, a wonderful musicologist friend of mine. And we were recorded in Dresden with the Dresdner Philharmonie, again, led by Maestro Corrado Rovaris, who I love and I've learned so much from. We had an amazing time putting this album together. So anyway, with all that coming, I hope that you guys enjoy this newsletter. I will see you in the fall. Hopefully that newsletter will be on time in October, early October. We've got a lot more to talk about because, as I said, I have been preparing new roles, debuts for new, entirely new things that I can't wait to do, that I have been wanting to do for a long time, and some things that are total surprises. So anyway, we'll talk to you guys in the fall. Have an amazing rest of your summer. Ciao. Rehearsal we already had was wonderful. I mean, I have no complaints. Zero, honestly. I'm having such a wonderful time.
Perfect. I'm gonna get you some contracts.
Yeah. I was really tired. I haven't had a year. Team.
Libiamo negli lieti calici che la bellezza infiora e la fuggevole. Tra voi saprò di vedere il tempo mio
Divertimento, ragazzi.